Hi, welcome to the next part of Trainstop Blues, a lesson in how to do Travis picking, or independent thumb and fingers, or Piedmont style 12-bar blues. This is continuing on from the first video, so if you haven't watched the first part of this lesson, then I suggest you go back and watch that, because if you haven't, you're really going to struggle with this one. This one's starting from exercise 7. So in the first video we went through exercises 1 through 6, where we learned how to set the thumb going independently from the fingers, and how to play around the E chord and the A7 chord, doing some independent thumb. We're moving on now to exercise 7, which moves us up the neck a little bit and adds a bit more of a challenge to what we've already learned. It's the same chords, basically, the same E, A and B7 chords, but we're playing up the neck instead of in first position. So when we played exercise 6, which was the A7 chord, we had two different ways of fingering the chord. So you can do it that way with the fingers without the bar, or with the bar. And in order to play exercise 7, you're going to need the bar. So if you're not familiar with how to do that, you're going to have to get yourself up to speed with how to bar across 4 strings with the index finger. If you've never done this, it's going to take a bit of practice. So what I'm doing is I'm basically barring 4 strings with the index finger, and you can see the lines on my finger where I've been squeezing it. So I'm going to focus, there you go. And my thumb is at the back of the neck, applying pressure. Let me move that tuner out the way so you can see the back of my neck. You see where my thumb is and my finger, and I'm basically squeezing to cover the 2nd fret of the top 4 strings. And we're going to stretch up to the 5th fret with our pinky. So it is quite a stretch. But it gives us an A major chord. The A is on the root note here. We're starting with the A string, or string 5. So without the 5, which is another root note, that's your A, you have a different chord entirely. So we need that here for this section. And when I make that stretch, you'll see that my thumb does move a little bit, so it's not directly behind the index finger, just because of the stretch. You can also bring your elbow out a bit if it's making you contort and causing you pain. And on that note, if it is causing you pain, take breaks. Don't sit and hold this shape for too long, because it's going to cause some problems. If you do that, your body will tell you when you need to take a break, so be sure to do that. Now the exercise itself sounds like this. Bit of movement on the high E string, pinky on 5, middle finger on 3, and then open. And the bass notes are being played on strings 5 and 4, because the root note of the A is string 5, so we're leaving the bass E string completely alone. Good luck. Right, moving on to exercise 8, which takes us to the 5 chord, or the turnaround chord, which is a B7. And in this note, the B, the root of the note, is on the 5th string at fret 2, giving us a B. And the bass note's not being played until we get halfway through the exercise. Okay, so it sounds like this. So see, we've got that. We're moving the middle finger to cover the second fret of the first string to give us the boom chuck. Instead of an independent, well, the independent thumb still going on the right hand, but we want to make sure that we're fretting the F sharp there. Okay, so that was fairly straightforward, I think. Moving on to exercise 9, we're going to be moving up the neck to play the second half of the song, and this time we're playing an E7 starting at fret 5. So you can see the fingering there in the box, the chord box above the exercise. I'm using my index on string 2, my middle on string 4, and then I've got ring and pinky on strings 1 and 3 at fret 5. Okay. And the root note here is on the open bass string. So our thumb's going to be doing this on 0, 6, 0, 6, and we've got some rhythm going on again on the top strings. That's a tricky little movement there. In order to get that 5th fret on the first string with the index finger, I'm actually rotating my hand and making a little bar, just like you would on a first position F chord, covering 2 strings with the index finger, that kind of style. That's going to take a bit of practice if you're not used to making little bar chords. And then from there, moving on to exercise 10. Hang on, is this still exercise 9? Yeah, it is. Exercise 9 is a bit longer. So what you do is you keep that shape and then you move your index finger to the 4 and then lift it off. So that whole sequence, although we're playing different chords, we're actually moving. It's all one thing. So slide the index down to cover only the top string, because we've got the open B. It's a tricky little move, but it's really pretty. One more time. See how I've huddled in. I've brought my elbow on my left hand right into my tummy in order to make that move. So when I'm in this position, my elbow's out. As I rotate my finger in to make the little bar, it rotates and my elbow comes in to my tummy. And it stays there to make that rather stretchy move. Okay, good luck with that one. Okay, moving on to exercise 10. We're up the neck again. This time we're playing the A chord. This time it's an A9. And the shape that it's showing you there, you don't actually have to make that full shape. I'll show you why in a minute. So we're up at the 5th fret. So again, whenever you're playing around the 5th fret, you know you're going to be playing A if you're in standard tuning, because that and that are both A root notes. Okay, so in this one you can see that the fingering is written as having you play the 6th fret of the 3rd string. But if you look at the tablature, you won't see any 6s on the 3rd string. In fact, you won't see anything being played on the 3rd string at all. So you don't need to fret that one. You just need the little bar and then stretching your pinky out to the 7th fret, then the ring on 6. So it's pinky, ring, and then lift off, so you're still barring the 5th fret. So by the time you get to this lesson, exercise 10 should be quite straightforward. So moving on to the final exercise, which is exercise 11. We are playing our 5 chord, or the turnaround chord, which you remember is the B7. And this time we're playing up the neck at the 9th fret. This is a tricky one. It's one of my favourite bits of the tune. So 7, 9. Okay, so it goes like this. It's rather a tricky move. We're having to move our pinky, which is our weakest finger, and it's doing all of the melody there. Well, that's how it sounds, and I'm starting to feel it now. Feel it in my wrist here, so don't hold it down until the pain gets too bad. Make sure you take a break. So that's us gone through all of the lessons. You should now be able to tackle the whole tune. Trainstop Blues by Pete Madsen. Okay, here we go. That's the first half. Let's repeat that. Okay, let's move on to the second half. Let's repeat that. I think there's a 6 there that I don't normally play. Make sure I get it this time. Yeah, turns out I normally don't play that 6 and haven't been for all these years. Let's do it again. This one. So there we go, Trainstop Blues. I hope you enjoyed that and found it useful, and I recommend lots and lots of practice. It's the kind of thing that for me, it took many hours actually, particularly going through exercises 1 and 2, because that's where the syncopation comes in, and then exercise 3 when you get that hammer on, you know that. It's very tricky, and it's one of those things that once it clicks into place, then you'll have it for life, and you'll start to wonder how you couldn't do it before when it seems so easy. You know, it's one of them. So it's definitely worth persevering, and once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to play this style in any key, and you'll have a lot of fun. It will unlock a lot of fun for you on your guitar. So I hope you've enjoyed these lessons, and I look forward to hearing how you get on. If you would like to share in the comments how you're getting on, I would love to hear from you. I always enjoy hearing from pupils that they're enjoying my lessons and making progress on the guitar and having fun. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about having fun. So yeah, let me know how you get on, and I'll see you back on the channel. Stay tuned, subscribe, there will be more tutorials coming, as well as some more concert footage, and I enjoy publishing this stuff for you, and I hope that you enjoy watching it. See you again. Bye for now.